So I'd like to discuss personal branding. I think it's very much relevant to those teachers, like you, for example, those who have blogs, active on social media, stuff like that. I mean, if you think of it, personal branding is such a big concept. I mean, I didn't realize
Yes.
till like I started actually looking at the definitions. This one is very like academic. It's like personal branding is intentional strategic practice of defining and expressing your values. Sounds like, but I mean, most of the time, people understand it as a story and how you present yourself. Basically, you don't have to be on social media to do that, right? It's basically
That's,
how you show up for your students every day. It's also sort of like your personal brand. But it's true, like in terms of social media, it becomes like more traceable. You can easily see that, right? You can see
Mhm.
how the person is presenting himself or herself, what their values are, what are their interests. You can easily see that via social media. So I
Uh-huh.
think a lot of people think like, why do I need that? Why do I even care, right? It is about attracting projects, promotion, and jobs opportunities, spread knowledge, connect to people who have common interests, which is easy actually to connect with other people who are uh, who like the same things. It's easier when we have another Igerim coming here. Yes, I think it's Igerim got the show. Hi, Igerim.
Ah, hi.
Hello, ladies. How are you?
Great. So,
Well,
Okay, I'll
well,
start.
thank you.
again, we already started. If you have questions along the way, please ask questions, okay? Because there are
Okay, okay,
three of us. It's okay to ask questions.
okay,
So
great.
we just discussed what personal branding is, and now we're discussing why it's important. I would give you like one little example with Nadezhda, for example. Nadezhda is now working for Teach for Kazakhstan or something like that. It's a project, and they teach teachers from all of the Kazakhstan to teach in the regions and stuff like that. They conduct trainings. And once she asked me, Jazira, I mean, maybe we should invite you for the training because they first do induction training. Like they invite like really cool people. I was like, yeah, I would love to conduct some trainings. And they were like, do you have social media? I'm like, no, I don't use it much. And she said, like, her employers, basically, they look at your Instagram account. So if you're not on Instagram account, probably you're not a cool teacher. So it was very interesting. Sometimes you really need that. But
Yeah,
again, I remember at the time I was thinking, it takes so much time and effort. Do I really need that? Yes, I do. And now I started my social media accounts. But it started with the SMM presentation. I'm going to show you in a bit. So when we think of personal branding, we are also thinking of like how to build it, right? Probably
Mm-hmm.
you can tell me two or three things how to build your personal brand. I'm sure you have some ideas. How do you build
Mm,
personal brand? How
you
do you,
have to choose a field of your expertise.
yeah.
First of all, identify your topic that you are going to promote
yeah.
so that people could associate you with that product.
Mhm.
Um, what else? Then positioning, like what else?
Okay. Sounds good.
It shouldn't be very something very simple. It should be something specific. And as Igram said, that's right. They should have association with you. Only you.
Okay.
But it's not easy.
That sounds good. So basically you're talking about like finding your niche and topic.
Yep.
Yes, always super important. So I like it, but it starts with like, define your purpose and values, right? It's always when you look at the personal branding, they say the most important is that it's you basically, right? What do you care about? What are your values? What do you want the people to know about you? Yes? Or how do you want to define yourself? Uh, yeah, and what makes you different from others, right? Basically that, what makes you different. We're all teachers. but we're all very different teachers, very, very, very different. Like the way we position ourselves, the way we have lessons. And yeah, because I saw all your lessons, I can tell you guys, I don't see any, like, I haven't seen any teachers who have identical teaching methods. They're very, very different. Uh, it's like it's all the lessons are engaging, but engaging in different ways, and students are different as well. Like it's true. It sometimes it really depends on students as well, but yeah, it's very easy to say like how different you are because the way you structure lessons, what is important for you. It's like, for example, for Irina Maituarova, it's the pronunciation is super important. Yeah, and sense of humor. I think that's top, right?
That's right.
And you can totally see that from the lesson. And I know that Irina Gadusheva loves like presentations, and that's like it's like I would say it's a core focus of her lessons. Like their students always present. Basically, every lesson is like mini presentation. Which is like really cool. Yeah, because she had a really big group and they were like working in small groups, and yeah, it really like it makes the lessons very different. But I like, so for example, Irina Maituarova made like a lesson, the presentation was like, there's like a really cool animated movie, Coco, and she made like a Coco themed, yeah, presentation. It was about her.
All 12 basic tenses. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, you're very different, and it's I was discussing mainly right now like something that's like visible, but your purpose is something that's not always visible, right? It's something you keep to yourself. Like we all have our values, like we all like in Kazakhstan we care a lot about families. Like I think it's like one of the top priorities in our lives. But we do not always talk about it, right? Social media accounts. But those are the things that make you you, and it's important to talk about it. That's basically what it is. Audit your personal brand equity. I really like that one. It's more like, let's audit it. Let's find out what assets do we have. Like, yeah, credentials. I think as teachers, we always talk about education, right? We always talk about that. Awards and achievements. Like, I think a lot of teachers are like the awards and achievements are about our IELTS certificates or CELTA or whatever we have. Like those are super important, and we talk about that a lot. Social capital, personal professional connections. We don't talk that much about it, I think, but it's true that it is important. And finally, cultural capital, emotional intelligence and expertise you get through your life experience. I think this one, every single teacher on our project, they have cultural capital, like a huge one. Emotional intelligence, how to deal with like difficult students, or how to deal with like difficult emotions as well. Like it's something we deal with that differently, and sometimes we do need help, but it's like with we like all of the teachers in our project have like substantial experience in that. So construct a narrative. I think this one is basically that's what personal brand is about, right? It's telling a story. Constructing a narrative is telling a story. Storytelling is like, I don't know, for some reason it's very trendy. I think storytelling is number one skill everywhere on social media when you talk about it. It's like very important to tell your story. Like, there are like types of stories, like Cinderella story or whatever story, right? So there's certain narrative. It's like, how did we become teachers? Because for a lot of us, it's like, it's not very straightforward thing, right? Some of us, like, for example, I did my bachelor's and master's as a teacher, but I did have this gap in my CV because I was working in corporate world. Like some people come from corporate world to teaching, like it's not very straightforward. A lot of teachers who are teachers have teaching degrees are not actually teachers, right? There's like it's very complicated story for most of us, right? Because sometimes we're
They
like,
could be barista.
sorry,
They
what?
could be barista somewhere.
Yeah. It could be. They can be anyone. Like teaching
Yeah.
diploma, it's very interesting. They become anyone. They can become pretty much anyone in their lives. But anyways, it's true. Yermek is our program officer. You haven't seen him, right? Now you see him. Yermek, hello. I'm glad you joined.
Hello, Jadira. Thank you. Sorry for being late.
But that's okay. By the way, Yermek is our now program officer. You haven't seen him, but you'll see him in Anstana. You're all coming to.
Yeah.
Oh, Ermek.
Hello, everyone.
So we have two Igirims. There is another Igirim. You know that we have three Igirims in our program, right? Aitaro Igirim.
I will make a wish.
Sure. Yes. And then we have third one. We have Yordianova Igirim. She's not, she's in Almaty, but she's coming to Astana as well. So we have three,
Okay.
all three Igirims in Astana. So
Okay.
we're discussing the personal brand and we are discussing the storytelling. It's like when you basically building your brand is about building your story. That's what we're talking about. Oh, wait. Yeah, this is the constructive. So the process of creating cohesive story, I think it's like it sounds very vague, but when you talk about stories, right? And we are talking about our life experience or about like how we came to be teachers, right? How what we value most in our teaching, or how like important the stories of our students, or like it's the whole thing, right? It's about storytelling. It's about building the brand. And I think, like I said, it's mostly visible and traceable when you're on social media, right? When you tell the story on the lesson, yes, most of the students kind of see your personal brand. But when you're on social media, that's when people instantly, like, sort of like categorize you, the kind of teacher. Like, for example, Akiri Maitoru is funny teacher, right? You are funny. You're very funny. And I get him. Gavdashova is very approachable, very lively. That's how I would describe you. So if I had to brand you with like one word, that's what I would tell about you. But I'm not sure how you build your personal brand. Maybe that's not the most important thing in your teaching. Yeah. The relevance for an English teacher teaching online or personal branding is highly relevant for several reasons. So it's about differentiation and competitive market. Again, it really depends. I mean, do you teach online? I get him.
Sometimes if some students ask us to do that, like if they want to apply to the university somewhere in Turkey, yes, we're here for them.
Oh, you teach Turkish as well?
No, just a
I
little.
know
I
that you speak
started.
Turkish.
Uh,
You're
yeah,
teaching.
like why not? Yep.
Got it. What
I
about,
tried it for the first time.
okay. What about you? I get him, got the show.
Yeah. I do teach English online.
Okay. So I know for us, for most of the teachers, it's not like we're like, okay, I'm going to put an ad on Instagram. We just like through our students, that's how it usually happens, right? But if you were, you would need differentiation on competitive market. But there's so many teachers in Kazakhstan, like there are a
So
lot.
nice.
And if it's online, you're competing with people from like all the countries, like the former CIS, those who speak Russian, and there are some who do not speak Russian, like native speakers, right? That's the competitive market, and it becomes huge, right? Building credibility and
Wait.
sorry, what did you say, Gabe?
No, that's right. Competitive market. That's like, you have to have something very special. But in the fact, if you see, almost everyone had the same thing, or at least all the topics were covered. All techniques and methods were used. So
Yeah,
it's very hard.
I know, but then again, like your sense of humor, Guillermo, is something that nobody can copy, really, because it's something very, very cool.
Thanks.
The next one is about building credibility and trust. I'm sure you know that, but again, like if you see the teacher talking about certain topics online, and if you see that it's correct, It kind of builds trust and credibility, right? Attracting right students. It's true, like again, like for example, my daughter likes to make jokes, so if the student's too serious, probably not the teacher.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, I would
For
just,
sure.
yeah, for sure. But I'm sure you can be serious on the lesson. Okay, can you be? I mean, I've never
I
seen you.
can teach you English right now, and it's going to be extremely serious, I promise.
Okay. Got it. Next one is networking and professional growth. I'm sure you this program, I think, is like something that made me so happy because mostly before that I was teaching online, and it's such a lonely thing. Like you're just like alone all the time, like staring at the screen. And some of you students don't turn on the camera, so you look at yourself all the time. It's a miserable experience, not very fun. But like this project, there are a lot of teachers who are teaching online, but now they're teaching in person, and a lot of you said that it's actually great, like to see other teachers, to have training with other teachers. It's a huge possibilities for networking, right? For
Sure.
Aigerim Aituarava, she's more like she's in Astana, so there's so many teachers. Like they have like sort of a community. Sometimes you meet up, right? But
On
in
Fridays at the bars, yeah, we do.
fantastic. What about you, Aigerim? Go the show. You don't have much,
I'm here alone in Natural City, so
but you're coming to Astana soon, right?
yes, I'm coming. So yeah, girls, I'm going to
We are
join you.
waiting for you.
Yeah, so I think there are some networking communities in Astana, but like I wish there was like more. So like online networking opportunities were like available. That would be so great. But anyways, imagine you're posting something on social media, so you would have a lot of like-minded people, especially if you're like not just posting and like educating, but like asking, soliciting some ideas, then I'm sure you would have feedback from fellow teachers. And that's certainly a possibility to network and connect. Next one is about consistency in communication. Again, I think that's, important to a certain extent, but like it's like really depends how you are teaching, right? Like, and who do you post your videos for, right? Do you post for teachers, for students, or for like their parents? The message and the tone of communication is going to be slightly different, right?
Yeah, you have to know your target audience.
There we are. That's SMM terminology there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The next one is personal and professional fulfillment. I think it's important to a certain degree is like teaching online is great, but sometimes it's great to have, I don't know, maybe you want to launch your online course, right? And for sure you would need some ad or some SMM campaign for that. Not sure if you're interested. I am curious to do that in the future. So it's something that could be relevant for you. So I actually had this course. It's do you remember I told you it's American Space in Almaty?
Hmm.
And they make a lot of things. And this particular course on SMM was like 2 weeks. And they had like very specific tasks. This course, most of you could take it, but they said like the requirement for this course was like you had to come for the final presentation. You had to present a presentation. So I presented my SMM course home tasks in one presentation. I'm going to show it to you. Okay. So if you have any questions, please ask me. But it was mostly they said that for SMM, so it's social media marketing. So you have to take like a specific case. And in my case, I said like I'm a teacher of IELTS and I would like to have more students because that's the first thing I came up with. Because that's what I was doing for many years. So it was easy for me to cover that. But because I'm teaching like now mostly like from morning till evening I'm at work, so I don't have much time to teach, and that's why it's more of like a little side thing. I used to be teaching like the whole day, right? So don't have time for that. So for
Sure.
plan, it's about the goal, KPI, and unique selling point. I think the goal is very like for most of you, right? In the beginning, it's going to be like brand awareness. Remember, we talked about personal brand. So like people knowing about you, that's usually the goal. And then you want to increase your audience or you want the audience conversion, like more people to buy a product, whatever. That would be the goal. KPI is a specific metrics. How do you know it's effective? So maybe you have more likes, comments, reposts. Maybe you have more messages from students. Maybe you have like more real students, right? But anyways, this is the KPI. Unique selling point is something people talk about a lot, right? Again, I think we talked a little bit about it when we talked about personal branding. So it's like, how are you different? So yeah, so I'm different because I have unusual sense of humor. It's very quirky. This is what I am. Because some people really appreciate good sense of humor. You know that, right? Some people appreciate interactive methods. Some people appreciate you not having the bug, or like, a lot of people talk about after-sky methodicas. This is like number one so unique selling point for 100% of the teachers in Kazakhstan. It's very, very typical. Then strategic plan, it's about social media. Most of the time they recommend actually having not just one but all the accounts at the same time. So imagine you have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and then TikTok, like like a effective social media campaign is basically posting throughout the platforms. Ideally, if you had like a team of people and like, plenty of time to record the videos, you make specific videos for Instagram, because for Instagram should be beautiful and polished and everything. For TikToks, it's more casual and stuff. So if you could also like, adapt it to the audience, that would be fantastic. But I'm not sure if you have like a big team with SMM specialist, mobilographer, or whatever. But if you could, then you would adapt it to the audience as well. So there is like a targeted advertising. So like you pay money for basically every click. You make a campaign. You pay certain money. It really depends on the budget. It really depends on the message. If it's like very effective, you don't need much money. But if it's like not good keywords and like it's not very well designed, then you basically are going to be just wasting your money. Communication and tone, I think, is something, again, we discussed, right? So what kind of communication and tone do you want to have? Do you want to be like, some teachers actually, you probably saw that on Instagram, they talk like students. They don't talk like adults. They talk like if they're like teenagers or kids, right? And that's their unique selling point, and it's a communication tone and style for them. So the target audience, I just try to figure out like this. Again, there was like a table, I had to fill it out. It was very interesting, when I tried to analyze who my audience were, because mostly I saw it's school student, but then I thought it's parents, because a lot of times, like when I was teaching IELTS, it's the parents, the fathers, the mothers, the aunts, the grandmothers would call me, like they would tell me about their grandkids or whatever, and they would talk about them for hours, telling like how special they are, and I should really help them to to improve their scores. And yeah, I had a lot of conversation with brothers and sisters, lots of it. And then this like analysis of competitors. I choose these three, but there are so many teachers of IELTS. Like, I don't know, like maybe hundreds. I'm not sure what the number is. But I know these two ladies, like Jarkana and Gulzat. Basically, we were doing our masters together. Now I found them on social media, and I saw that they're very active. Actually, Jarkana is very, I didn't know she's so popular. And she has a very interesting Instagram account. She's talking about Tinder, she's talking about like IELTS, she's talking about teaching, teachers, whatever. Gulzat is basically, they were in the same group actually, both of
And
them.
me too.
Oh,
I had course. I started with Jarkhanai. I mean, this course for IELTS for teachers.
okay.
So last year it was.
Yeah, so I know them for quite a while, but yeah, I didn't know that they're so big on social media. And then, of course, maybe you saw this one, IELTS Advantage.
That's advantage.
I
That
know
one.
you, the guy in the middle. Quite interesting content.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
very useful.
Quite interesting content you have.
yeah. So it's I used to like his website before, but then he redesigned, rebranded it, and I don't like it ever since because I thought before there was like more good content. That's how I feel. But anyways, yeah. So I analyzed their accounts, and I said that Jarkana has like slightly eclectic account. So basically, she has like a lot of different interests. Like for example, especially Tinder, I thought like it was like a bit too much of a range of interests. Gulzat is more of like they have totally different personalities. Rakna is very assertive, very strong-willed personality, whereas Gulzat is very like very polite, very delicate, very
Mm.
yeah, tactful, very nice. And yeah, the third one, it's more like I'm not sure. It's like it's a bit impersonal. That's what I don't like. It's very popular. IELTS Advantage is a really good account, and I know this guy is like teaching for years, right? He's doing IELTS for as long as I can remember, but it's very like not. You can totally see that there he's just like managed by some people, by some other people, not him. Yeah, the content plan. So basically, that's another thing. You know that you can generate it in ChatGPT. It's pretty easy, but you can basically generate day by day what you should post on your social media account. And they basically tell you, okay, start with this and then do that. Some suggestions by ChatGPT are going to be weird, but it can generate like a very specific plan for every day. That's what I did because, for the course, when I had to do that, I've never done that in my life, a content plan for SMM strategy. So I just used ChatGPT. I mean, deleted some of the things I didn't like. So that's how it looks like. So yeah, I mean, that was the task to do it for 5 weeks, and that's what I did. But then there was like one, yeah, I also had to create visuals.
Oh,
Yes, I had to. I did it in Canva. In Canva, it's very easy. You put it like, take a really nice template and put your whatever, and it's there. Yeah. And yes, there's one thing that I don't like about SMM. I don't know if how you feel about it, but you always have to say that you're going to offer special offer, like limited offer, just today. Like do it within the 15 minutes, and then it's no longer available. Things like that. I personally hate it, but I understand that it works. I totally understand. It's like you just have to have like slightly different like mindset, I think just my mindset is more of a teacher than a businesswoman. So I realize I need to switch that. But this is again, I created that. I looked at it and I'm like, I just don't like it, but I guess it works. You got it?
absolutely. 100%.
Marketing.
Yes. And then there is like something that I found most interesting is about the collabs. So when she was talking about collabs, it's like I was thinking that this is fun, something that could be done with other teachers, because I see that a lot of teachers are active on social media, but they're only doing them. Like it's just about me, but never any collaboration. I don't see it any. But in our program, we have so many teachers who are like they post about same topics, right? I mean, a lot of teachers actually post about their everyday life, like their students, right? The flowers on the like Teachers' Day, whatever. Some trainings, and I saw certificates. That's something that I see posted, but I thought that this could be like super interesting thing to do. And again, not necessarily for like some money, right? It could be just to talk about some insights. Actually, that's what I really liked, and I really liked like the ideas again suggested by ChatGPT. Yeah, so in content marketing, they also talk about customer-centric marketing, or they talk about like something that you have to like how to make your marketing more engaging and more interactive. So they talk about interactive stuff a lot. So posting something for likes, posting something for subscription, stuff like that. In Russian, they call it progrev. I'm not sure because I tried to Google it and find it like how to call it. I couldn't. And then it's like ChatGPT said it's customer-centric marketing. Fine. Fine, I agree with that. But anyways, it's something that you do in order to get more subscriptions, more likes, more whatever. Does that make sense?
It does.
Oh, so nice training. So there's another thing they talk about is TapLink. Have you ever used TapLink? Do you like
Yep.
it? Yeah. So TapLinks can be like a little website. Did you know? Because I thought TapLinks is just to systemize like a lot of links, but you can have like a really nice TapLink like this. So you click on it, there's going to be your face, and it's going to be like links to your resources or whatever you use. Does that make sense?
Yep.
For like some advanced, this one is free actually, but for some advanced function, you can actually find it like for extra money, you can buy some extra things. So, do you have any questions, any comments, any ideas? Was there anything new that you learned, or maybe did you know about SMM before? Did you use it? Did you use any specific strategies?
Yep. As you remember, I have worked at DLing Studio as a development director. It's an educational center, but basically it was focused and concentrated on French language. Then we had to change it by adding English and Japanese languages. And we had the target audience, the SMM, mobile offers, and a big SMM team, a big marketing team. And we had tried all these tricks. And I would say that half of them work. But since it's very competitive market, you have to be showing something new day by day, week by week, and it's very hard and tough, and it takes a lot of energy. It's very energy consuming. But still, after that, I realized that if you want to be successful, you have to be online for sure. That's the main thing. When I seen Jazira for the very first time, I was like, she has like 1 million followers for sure, like
No,
no doubt.
no.
Then I was like, I found Jazira's account. I was like, maybe it's personal, but private one, and I shouldn't subscribe. And I haven't subscribed, but I can if you if you're okay with that. But then I realized that you have like I don't know how many 200 followers, maybe less than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is why like I'm for you. You are the teacher who should have accounts, who must have accounts for sure.
Thank you, Igrim. That's very nice of you.
We will.
Okay.
I also want to add something. Since we have Sona and Igrim as well, we should have some kind of hooks when we are teaching. And we have tried, many teachers tried the same methodologies, the methods, approaches. And I have the thing that is called neurodetective English. Something very, like from my childhood, I was a fan of Agatha Christie's books, detective induction, deduction. So it was my diploma work in Almaty. I said that maybe I could integrate this cognitive science and this detective skills in learning English language, and I've tried it. I'm kind of researcher of this project. It's still on, I'm working on it, but I guess it's going to be something special. So if you have heard something like that, I would be happy to know because I want to have something really exclusive, if it's even possible in 21st century. How to
Absolutely.
have something exclusive.
Absolutely, I get it. That sounds really cool. What do you mean? Like, so do you want us to come up with ideas or do you want us just to share links? What do you want?
Share links and tell me if you have ever heard about this kind of concept before.
I mean, I know what cognitive teaching is and cognitive science. Yeah, but
But it's like neurodetective English. It's going to be like with
neurodetect,
neurobiology and
yeah,
detective
that
skills.
exactly terminology I've never heard, but I know about cognitive science and how it
Amazing.
works. Yeah,
Okay, thanks,
thank you.
ladies.
Yes, what about you? Igrim Gabdashova, what do you think? As anything new, anything you'd like to share?
So yeah, I've been using my work profile on Instagram for about a year. And what I struggle with, I know that my problems and weaknesses, and that there are like discipline, lack of discipline, and like regularity, consistency of having this Instagram social media going on. So my problem also is for I actually use all these tricks like targeted audience and advertisement. And the last time I launched my course, I of pre-intermediate, and I was looking for people of this level, but unfortunately, I attracted wrong people. Absolutely. I mean, like they were all individuals or they were like higher level or lower level, but not pre-intermediate. And I could gather only 3 people. So, that's my problem. I don't know still how to figure out how to attract the right people. So this is thing that I need to research and to think more. Also, what else?
Were they
Yeah,
elementary students?
yeah, they were absolutely different, elementary, advanced. Some were just individual traveling, so but not pre-intermediate that I need. So yeah, and I don't know how it works. Basically, I fill out all those criteria to have this advertisement, but still, yeah, that's my problem. What else? But in general, I think that personal brand is something it became a necessity for teachers because nobody knows us without showing our work. So we have to be able to also to know how to demonstrate our work correctly, effectively. Yes, and it's actually work as well. It's a second job, which requires a lot of time and the shooting, editing, and thinking, even analyzing the content. It also work. So that's why I think that a lot of people struggle with that because they don't have extra time. And yeah, but what you shared, the content, actually that was quite useful. Thanks.
Thank you. Sona, did you have like any chance to hear anything, or you just came at the end, Sona? Guess Sona is not available. But anyways, anything to share? Yarmek, what do you think?
Remek
Sure.
is also a teacher, right?
No, he's not.
No, no.
Oh, okay.
I supposed to share the success story, but I didn't, let's say, prepare. Sorry, maybe next time.
Okay.
Yeah. But one time I was teacher, but the university teacher.
Mm-hmm.
4 years ago, I taught one semester for 30-year students. So I'm also like could be considered as your colleagues.
Uh-huh. Good.
Thank you.
What do you think
Thank you
about
for presentation,
You,
Jazira.
Yarmek, what do you think
Very
about
useful.
personal branding as a SMM? You said you're interested in SMM and personal branding. I remember you told me about that.
Yeah, I was planning to build my personal branding as young expert or specialist in international development, and started to post some stories in Facebook, but I didn't continue it, so it's also in the air, like. So that's why it was very useful. So you need to plan every day, every day post. So let's see.
Okay, awesome.
it's
Yeah.
amazing. Honestly, it was amazing. Can I say something informal? Like, you
Sure.
go, girl.
Yeah,
Just keep going.
yeah, thank you.
And plus, you have like, I don't know, 30 teachers who will support you on Instagram. We will do that. No problem.
Sure, absolutely. But I mean, I'm here not to say that I started my own personal, but I'm here to say like,
I'm
also,
here to say that.
I think everyone should do personal branding in 21st century. I think because all of you have like really cool things to share. Why not to share those? Like, it would be helpful for teachers. It would be great for your future students. And sometimes you can even share, like I do that with my students. I sometimes send them the lesson, right? You can send them your own lesson if you don't want to repeat something like, 200 times. Sometimes you could explain what present simple is and send it to your students, like, right?
If you don't mind, I would like to share my presentation.
Yes,
Just if
absolutely.
you give a general comment, because as Igram, she likes to, I don't know, present the slides. I also have great opportunity to show them. Just a second.
Sure.
They're like one style presentations that I have been working on like for a long time, to be honest. When I was working in Acto, um, just a second. I guess this one.
What is the problem? You cannot find the presentation? You cannot share the
I
screen?
found it.
Yeah, got it.
Ta-da! Can you see it?
Yes, almost. Yes, I can see it. Yeah.
Yep. Because of the bad internet connection, that's why I'm moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, counting sheep, like take a break. I tried to use some very like interesting topic that you cannot find in every student book. And basically, I try to use the method of Statistipedia when we are integrating some games. Like, can you see this?
Yes.
The rolling the dice. Yeah, it's kind of trick when students are able to talk about very deep questions when it comes to the sleeping. We're talking about the sleep paralysis. We're talking about the sleepwalking in general. So these are the topics that we never cover at the classes because the students' books you cannot find those. But Voices is much better than this because they have this specific topics. Plus, we have this kind of listening, and it has the whole style like also listening practice as well. And then you can integrate to all levels to add some audios if you want to talk about sleeping. And basically, this is it. I have like a bunch of slides here that I have made myself. So if you want to use them, I can share.
That's so nice of you, Thank you so much. We should totally talk about that on the next training because I mean, we have other cohorts and I would love to invite the teachers from the previous cohorts to the new one, probably sharing experience. That'll be awesome.
That's it. See you in Astana.
Yeah, absolutely. See you in Astana. See both of you at Grim. I'm absolutely sure it's going to be fantastic to see you in person. It's always great to see you in person. And yeah, see you on 9th of November in Astana.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this workshop.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining.
We are grateful. Thank you.
Yes.
See you. Bye-bye.
Great.
Thank you.
See you
Bye-bye.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.